You're listening to Expat Radio, your worldwide friend.
Good morning and welcome to the Heartbeat, everyone.
Something happened on the way to Colorado. Keith.
Is that a song?
What do you mean? Is it a song? It's one of my big hits. That you've never heard me do that before.
I haven't heard you do that one.
I'll send you a copy of it.
Kiki's here with us this morning.
Oh,
good morning from England.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still morning there, isn't it? It's 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Oh my gosh! And Jess Rose is with us, but I don't see her on the call quite yet. So we'll have to see if she's.
Where is she?
Dave, if you can.
What country
I'm not
is she
sure.
In? Don't say Syria or Kazakhstan or something like that.
No, she's in I think she's in Portsmouth or some place like that.
It's very backward in Portsmouth. You're lucky if you've got internet connection in Portsmouth. You just about got running water and gas in Portsmouth at the moment.
No, I think she was having some issues with her Skype. She's on her computer rather than her phone. So I can kind of talk a little bit about why Kiki's here with me today, and then if we can't get her on this first tiny bit, we'll get her on ASAP at a song break. But I wanted everyone, I hope everyone remembers my friend Kiki, and from Kiki Kirby Coaching, and we have been chatting, and we thought it would be awesome if she did some co-hostessing with me.
It sounds like flying a plane with her. Ladies and gentlemen, we're traveling at 6 foot above the ground. I'm on my desk and I'm on the microphone and I'm co-hosting with Christine Saunders.
Co-hosting. So
co-hosting.
We've got such a great energy together, and we were on the same path and mission. We thought it would be awesome, just to have some energy and to bring Kiki back on and share her knowledge more. And I just thought it would be a great match. And so she's going to be with me on a regular basis. We're not sure exactly how often, but at least once a month, if not more. And so I'm very excited. How are you?
Yeah, so it's so good to be back, everybody. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm well. I've got a little bit of a cold, but I am well, so I'm resting a lot today. But I'm well, and I'm really excited to be part of this for a couple of reasons. The fact that it's an expat radio. I'm an expat myself, so really passionate about that. And also to share my knowledge with you globally around heart-centered things, life, business, emotions, just everything. And I was so encouraged when I was on the radio a few weeks ago. So I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. So thank you.
Yes, it's going to be awesome. It's going to go amazing places. And so I am thrilled that you are with us here on the Heartbeat. And so I think
obviously Dave keeps us very well entertained.
Well,
so that is going to be very good.
That's the thing, Kiki. Now, what you don't realise is Saunders has a sleep in. When we put music on, she has a sleep.
I know.
That. I have to wake her with about 30 seconds to go. I have to wake her up with a trumpet at the side of my ear. You've never heard anything like it. But that's one of my main concerns, was thinking at some point I'm going to go back to her one day and all you're going to hear is...
Oh, no. Well, look, at least I'm going to be online so I can help you wake her up.
Oh.
Right.
All the way from England.
I love it when women talk to me like that.
No.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so let's take a quick break and see if we can get Jess on. And so let's listen to a little Madonna, Medlin, and we'll be right back with Jess, hopefully.
See you soon.
Welcome back to the Heartbeat, everyone. Kiki and I are here. So, Dave, we're having some technical difficulties with Jess's Skype, so we're not sure what's happening.
Right, well, ring her up and tell her to drop kick that laptop that she's got. If it bounces off the wall, it normally works 2 seconds after.
I agree. I think she's trying to use her laptop because her son is using her phone this morning. So she's going to try and figure that out. So we still have time. So maybe just Kiki and I, and you can entertain the world this morning. I think that, of course, we've got lots we could definitely talk about this morning. with 117 countries. That's flipping awesome. Who is all on today, Dave?
Well, we've got Kazakhstan, and I don't know who's. I don't know if it's someone riding around on a camel with us on, with a Bluetooth in their ear, with a turban on, going, "Have you heard this? Have you heard Expat Radio beaming out across the desert?" You can imagine it, can't you? A load of Bedouins shouting to one another, put it on in your tent, you'll love it."
Wow.
Oh. Anyway,
Yep.
I've never come across one of these. Apparently, you can get an upgrade on a camel. You can have a one hump or a two hump. You don't.
I don't know. Have you ever ridden a camel, Dave?
Yes, in Egypt, in Cairo. And I said to the guy, "How do you fill them up with water?" And he said, "Well, what you do is you put the head in a water trough and you get two bricks and you hit the balls together, and depending on how hard you hit them, they suck up."
Oh my gosh,
Funny.
Kiki, have you ever ridden a camel?
Oh.
No.
Me either. I'm not very worldly.
Maybe we'll need to add one onto the list.
No, if you want to keep your legs together, girls, don't try it, because my legs were like ABBA after I did it. I couldn't get my legs back together again for about 3 weeks after I'd been on the thing. It was ridiculous.
But I have hung out with lions. My cousins in Zimbabwe, they've got a pet lion called Queenie. So although I haven't hung out with camels, I've hung out with lions.
Have you stroked it?
Yes, yeah, they used to have it as a pet.
What do you mean they used to? What's happened with it now?
So now they've got it, but obviously she's big, so she is caged off, and people do go into the cage, but obviously you've got to be very careful. And it's a big cage. It's not like it's a huge area that's covered off, and it's not just a small cage. Yeah. But I don't know if I would go into the cage now.
Oh no.
I think I'd be pretty afraid now, if I'm honest.
No, if I want to stroke something, I don't go in a cage. I'm telling you now.
Oh my gosh. So Dave, on Skype, I've added Jess to our group. How do I ring her up now?
How do you well, how do I ring her up?
Do we have to hang up?
No,
just add her.
No, just hold on a minute. Where is she? What's let me find if she's
handle?
on here.
She's on our group now.
What's her handle? That was all in. That was what was that all about? That was what do you call it? What's her name?
It's
Jess?
From like a CB radio handle.
Well, those days are gone, girl. Flipping out. You've got. I bet you've still got a BMX in your garden, haven't you?
I'm a 70s, 80s girl.
Are you? I've got a penny farthing in mine. That's how far back I go. So, Jessica Rose Chiddle, is that a name?
Well, she's under Jess Chiddle now.
Oh,
I just added her. She's another one on here.
Oh,
she's got her picture. She's a beautiful, beautiful redhead. She's on.
She's as red as me. Well, I'm calling her now. We're trying to call her. We'll
Adding
see
her?
if she comes on.
Okay.
You can't hear that ringing though, can you?
No.
Neither can I, but it is. Trust me, it tells me on the screen it's ringing. But anyway,
it's ringing.
While she's attempting to answer the thing, she's probably not even understanding that that's ringing. But anyway, what were you going to talk about?
Well, Jess and I are going to, and Kiki were going to talk about Jess's journey in the last year when I met her. And it's like we didn't really have a topic because, we just go from what comes up in our heart. And so, Kiki, is anything coming up while we're getting Jess online?
I suppose the one thing I want to talk about is rest. So, how do we rest, make sure that we have enough rest every single day? In this crazy life that we tend to live. It just got me thinking today. I've picked up a pretty bad cold, and as you know, through my cancer journey, I have to be very careful, and I've got a very full diary this week, and I've not long come back from the doctor, and the doctor's like, nope, you've got to unpick the diary and you've got to rest. And I think this is, especially in a lot of the work that I do in the corporate spaces, there's a lot around well-being and leading very busy lives and what we're doing around our mental health. And I suppose I wanted to challenge people who are listening in here today is, what are you doing about making sure that you've got enough rest every single day? Because we all have the same 24 hours each day, but it's how we use that.
Right.
And often it's about starting on the inside and then moving out through the outside.
Right. I've noticed if I push myself too hard, my body will make me stop in not very nice ways. I will get sick. I'll pull muscles. All those things. So yeah, it's something to pay attention to.
Absolutely.
So, let's take a quick break, and I think that we will get Jess on after this, and we can still talk about rest because I think that's a really good topic. But let's listen to some Taylor Swift, and we'll be right back with all of us. Talk to you soon.
Great.
You're listening to Expat Radio, beaming out across France and around the world.
Right, we're going back live to them this morning. We're trying to get Jess on, apparently, but the internet in Portsmouth...
Oh, welcome back to the Heartbeat. That's so true, Dave, about Taylor Swift. Poor thing.
Yes, I know. It's a bit... she's dangerous, isn't she, Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Jess is on, everyone. Oh, my gosh.
Morning, Jess. How are you?
Hello.
I made it. Finally, I'm in. I'm so sorry.
Portsmouth.
Sorry, Dave, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was like, woo!
No, it's like the Eurovision, isn't it? When they ring in all these countries and they don't know if they're going to get through, and we're ringing Portsmouth, hoping Portsmouth's going to land.
I know.
It's my laptop. I don't know what's wrong with it, but the internet keeps cutting out, and I'm like, ah!
Well, we'll talk while we have you. We'll totally talk while we have you. Welcome, Jess, to the Heartbeat. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Have you and Kiki met?
No,
not formally, only through social media. It's so good to meet you, and I know you're in England, so you're not too far from me, are you?
Whereabouts are you?
I'm
Kiki?
Cirencester, Gloucestershire.
Oh, nice. Yeah, not too far.
How do you pronounce that? Cirencester?
Cirencester.
Yeah. Right. How many? Right. Now ask Christine to pronounce it as it's written, because how many Americans can pronounce that place? This cracks me up every time.
You'll have to type it up, and I'll try.
Oh, if I type it,
they call so for short. They call it Siren. So it's in the Cotswolds.
Oh,
but if you got to read it seriously, if you read what it says, you're never in a month of Sundays will you get it right.
No,
it'll be all over the place. If you ask for that, if you got a taxi and ask the Uber driver to take you to that place, they'll look at you as if they say he's not. Well, is that next to the moon? Because Siren. It's one of them, isn't it?
And before we get started, could we have a shout out? My bestest buddy from Zimbabwe is listening in all the way from Australia in Perth. So please, can we have a shout out to her? Name's Sarah. She's just messaged to say she's on. So please, could we have a shout out for her, Dave and Christine and Jess?
Oh my gosh!
Morning,
yes.
Sarah.
Well, yes.
Everyone
morning,
say hi, Sarah.
Afternoon, evening.
What time is it over there? Now it's the middle of the night, isn't it?
Well,
over
she's
there.
Perth, so she must be about 8 hours ahead, perhaps, right? 7 hours.
She must like you. If she was sat up in bed listening to you with one eye open, she'd be like Madonna. She'd be like Madonna with that eye patch.
Hopefully she'll like this and continue to listening. So be nice.
Yes, and she's the one who's going to come on the radio with us, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Be nice, Dave.
No,
and
what are you worried about?
Okay,
what is it about me? Why
does it get back to Jess?
Jess, yes, it's all about Jess.
I'm here.
Why is everyone panicking? I'm going to say something about Australia.
No, Jess. Thank you for joining us today. And while we have you on the internet, I would love for you to introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Jess Rose, and I'm an intuitive life coach. And basically what I do is I'm really passionate about holding space for people and giving somebody that safe space just to feel validated emotionally, because I think in our society and how we communicate with people these days, a lot of people feel like they don't have that depth to communicate in how they want to, really. So basically what I do is I help people to feel confident and gain lots of self-awareness and clarity around how they are doing internally so that they can create the life that they want externally.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I just have to tell everyone, the first time I met Jess was in an entrepreneurial group, and it was a little over a year ago. And this beautiful woman, you all can't see her, but make sure you follow her on Instagram and I'll tell you how, didn't have her camera on. She was so much in a different space that the confidence level that she had was not there. And to watch you over the last year blossom and bloom into this beautiful life coach now is brilliant. So thank you. Like, the world needs you.
Oh, that's really lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely come a long way in such a short space of time, for sure.
Yeah, it's really fantastic to see what you've done. And so, you know, I want to spend some time kind of talking a little bit about that journey, and, you know, Kiki and I and you having a conversation about that. And we have about a half an hour left, a little less. Cool. So we're going to do that as soon as we take a quick break and listen to some Janet Jackson. Yes, all for you. And we'll be right back with Jess.
The best variety of music and conversation.
You're listening to Expat Radio, beaming out across France and around the world.
Wow, is Janet Jackson really almost 60? Is that possible? I don't know. Welcome back to The Heartbeat, everyone.
I'm talking to myself here. I didn't press the right
that's
button.
What I thought.
I was, I forget that the button's on. But no, what I was going to say to you, she's actually 73, Janet Jackson, but she's looking nearly 60.
She's not 73.
73. Oh, my word.
Oh,
she's fibbing. Oh, my God.
You got me.
Oh, my God, the Jackson 5 are 80. What are you on about?
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to The Heartbeat. I'm so excited. We have Jess Rose with us today, my co-host Kiki Stanton,
Hello,
and of course
hello.
Dave, who's steering our ship every week for The Heartbeat. Thank you. So, Jess, I want to dive a little bit into your story, and I want to give you some time because everyone's story matters and everyone has one. And so I'm hoping you can share a little bit of your journey over this last year of, you know, this huge transformation. So whatever you feel like you want to share with us, we would love to hear your inspiring story.
Okay, so it all started basically when, like you said before, when we joined an online coaching group, and I joined because I saw a post actually in a networking group online, and it just really spoke to me. I was like, oh wow, this post is literally like describing my brain and everything. I think this would really help, because at the time I had a photography business. So I was like, I'm going to join this, and hopefully this will get me to where I need to be with my business. And literally a week into the coaching, being in part of that coaching group, I realised that literally my reality was completely not how I wanted it to be. And a week into it, I ended the relationship that I was in because I realised how unhappy I was in it. And literally that was like a domino that kind of rippled on. And like since then, throughout this whole year, I feel like I've done like a lot of inner work, because I kind of triggered off like this self-discovery journey, and it really kind of, I don't know, shook me up in a way to really get to know myself and understand myself a lot better and what I want from life and all this kind of stuff that I didn't realise that it was important to do before, if that makes any sense.
Right, that makes perfect sense. And I know that you have a little bit of background of doing some counseling. Yeah. And how did that play into your decision to, over this last year, to ultimately, you know, help people in your life coaching business?
Well, it's something that I've always done anyway. Like even when I was doing photography, I like to get to know the person before taking their photo. And I've done, when I became a mum, when I had my second child, I learned how to be a breastfeeding peer supporter. So I've always been one to give that support and be that sounding board for people. Like in everything that I've ever done, I've always kind of done that. So it kind of just made sense to just kind of make that my actual thing, because it's something that I just do so naturally anyway.
Oh, fantastic. Kiki, were you going to say something? Did I cut you off?
No, I was just listening to what Jess was saying, and just really admiring the fact that you've been so open, and the fact that you were brave enough to make changes there and then, and be doing your inner work. Because I think so many of the clients that I see, and even myself included 6 years ago, was it can be so daunting when you start that inner work, and that inner work never ever finishes, does it? It's ever evolving every single day. So what would you say has been your biggest takeaways from the inner work?
Definitely, like before, where I was always giving this like emotional support for people, I realised, hang on a second, I've got all of this stuff in me that I've bottled up and kept to myself for a lifetime. And I think my biggest takeaway is just like opening up that bottle and letting everything out, and really learning how I feel is okay, and showing people like it's okay to feel how you're feeling, and processing feelings in a way that move you more towards what you want from life. Because I think so many people do bottle up how they feel, but it comes out in different ways, where it's impulses, or so many people use different ways to process their emotions, like maybe not in a way that does help them move them towards their own. Like, for example, I used to be quite a heavy drinker back years ago before children, and that was my way of masking how I was feeling rather than actually dealing with it. So I guess the biggest takeaway is learning how to process feelings in a way that can propel you forward rather than keeping you stuck or moving back. And that's basically my message that I like to share with people, and show them that the more that you do work through, and the more real that you are, and more vulnerable and open that you are, the more like the confidence that you gain, and clarity around who you are, and awareness, and everything, it all kind of links up together.
No, that's so true. Yeah, it's beautiful. I was just gonna to share with folks, I think, Jess, you were one of the first people on like a group call that I shared my story with, and I think I remember you and a couple other people. Really, it was just like maybe 3 or 4 of us, and I just lost it, and I started crying. And just being there, the energy you brought, even though it was over a video conference type of thing, was so so soothing almost. So I never really got to thank you for that, and so thank you.
Oh, that's lovely. That's so nice to hear. Yeah, I remember that call actually, because it was one of the ones that wasn't busy. I think there was only like 3 of us, wasn't there? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. I felt very safe with you. So I'm so pleased that you are doing what you're doing, because you definitely have an art to it, and some, true empathy, and your vulnerability is awesome. I want to take a really, really quick break, and I want to come back and talk about how people can get a hold of you, and then ask you some more questions, because I don't want to miss that piece. So let's listen to Jack Jones and Mabel, Ring Ring, and we'll be right back with Kiki and Jess.
Right, we're going back live.
Oh, Dave, I like Westlife.
Do you? Well,
I love them too.
Apparently,
I know.
They mentioned you in the concert. They want to come and meet you as well. They're coming over.
Don't mess with me, Dave. Don't mess with me.
No, not many women has said that to me. But what happened was, they want to come over windsurfing, apparently, but there's no wind in Colorado or near a lake where you are, is there? So apparently they look a bit daft.
There's tons of wind.
Is there?
Yes.
Well, they look a bit daft. If you have an avocado, plenty of it. But if they're stood on a boat on a lake, they won't be going very far with a sail sticking in the air with no wind going on. So they've said when the wind gets up, let them know. Okay. Whether that's your wind getting up or Colorado's wind getting up, I've no idea. But at the end of the day, you're wanted by Westlife. That's the main thing.
That's awesome. I'm so fangirled out right now. But here's the thing: if you don't have any wind, you just paddle. It's called paddleboarding.
Is it?
Windsurfing, yes, paddleboarding. You just take the sail off and you paddle with your arms. That's what we do here in Colorado.
What on earth would you stand on a piece of wood for, or a board, holding onto a sail, trying to get and can't direct the bloody thing?
I don't know.
Gets me. I've no idea what the enjoyment is in that. You could be going out to sea. You've no idea, could you? I'm going, I want to turn left here and I can't get back.
Oh my gosh. Welcome back to The Heartbeat, everyone. This show has been crazy and fun, and we are here with Jess Rose and Kiki Stanton. And so, Jess, can you share with everyone how they can get a hold of you or how they can follow you? I always like to get that piece in because I don't want to run out of time and miss that piece. So would you share that with us?
Yeah, I'm literally just on Facebook, Jess Rose. I've got a page. I've just opened up a new Instagram account as well, so there's not really anything on there at the moment, but I'm on Instagram as Jess Rose as well.
Okay, awesome. And I will, tag you all over my Facebook page, all over the Heartbeats Instagram page, and I'm sure Kiki will do the same, and so people can definitely see you there and make sure that they give you a follow.
Awesome.
So I always ask people this question, and I'm hoping that you can shed some light. And so, can you tell us what
before
your
you ask
opinion?
Him, before you ask him, can I just ask now? I want the two girls to do a recording for me for my answer phone for the studio for the radio. So when people call in, the two girls are talking to them. Everyone will melt.
Us two girls, Jess and myself.
Yeah, Kiki and Jess on the phone on the answering machine. Hi, I'm Jess. And I'm Kiki. And you'll be getting inquiries from all over the world.
Lovely, lovely voices. Absolutely, they're very much suited for this type of work. I'm so with you, Dave. So here's my question, Jess. Difference between bravery and courage.
Difference between bravery and courage. For me, I'd say bravery is catching a spider. Like, even though you're really scared, you're catching a spider. But courage is more like heart-centered. It's deeper. Like, I think bravery is knowing that you have a fear but doing it anyway. But courage is on that deeper level. It's more vulnerable. It's more intimate, and it's more from the heart, I'd say.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And who or what inspires you the most?
Definitely my children. In particular, my daughter Isla. She's my first, and when I had her, I just completely changed, like, instantly. I know so many mothers do, and she just inspires me every day to question everything, because as a child, like, children are so innocent, and they question everything, they get immersed in play. And I just think bringing things back to how we are, like, being innocent, and that inspires me so much.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And then my last question, and I think maybe, I don't know if Kiki has questions or not, but here's my last question. My whole practice is working toward living life with and from your whole heart. What does living a wholehearted life mean to you?
Oh, I love that so much. To me, living a wholehearted life is making sure that everything that you do and how you are completely aligns with everything from your heart, from your values, from just completely being vulnerable with yourself all the time and real, and following your intuition, because that's how our heart guides us, isn't it? If we listen to our intuition and following that, I've definitely noticed that I'm so much more happier in my life, in myself, when I do lead with my heart rather than letting logic overrun the show sometimes.
Right? Because sometimes our brains mess with us, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh. Kiki, any questions for Jess that come up?
Yeah, maybe one thing around, because I'm sure there are plenty of people listening in that want to lead with their heart, but the brain takes over, mindset takes over, and that's a lot of what I work with clients around, is mindset. Yeah. So what's the one piece of advice that you would give people around leading more with your heart and being authentic and living that wholehearted?
See, I think this actually really goes hand in hand with mindset, because before I started listening to my heart, I did a lot of mindset work. Great. And I think it's all about quieting the mind so that you can truly listen to your heart, because that's what it's all about. It's about listening deeply to your feelings, to like physical sensations in your body, to It is listening to that voice, because mindset does play a key, but it's also... Oh, that's a really good question. I kind of forgot what you asked.
Just like what's the one thing that the one maybe practical thing that you advice that you would give people to lead with their heart?
Listen to how you feel. So notice when you're around people, if you feel what emotions come up when you do certain things. So take note of how your energy levels, if you're feeling drained or if you're feeling really connected and alive, and doing more of what makes you feel alive and what makes you feel wholehearted.
Okay, great. That's amazing. Really good. Because it's that awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all about self-awareness. Yeah, paying attention.
Thank you. And it's been great to have you on here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I can't thank you enough, Jess, for coming on, and Kiki for hosting with me, and Dave for steering the ship.
I've got a good bravery and courage example.
Okay.
Ooh.
Before I moved over here, I was set up on a blind date. And this was about 16 years ago, and you've never seen anything so scary in all your life when I turned up at this house to pick this girl up. I found out who she was, and she was a man-eater. And I had to... She lived in a cul-de-sac, so I had to go past the house. She came out of the house. I've gone past the house, tried to spin round quickly at the bottom end of the road, and come back before she realised it was me. And she stood in the middle of the road and flagged me down and stopped the car, and she jumped in the passenger seat. Oh my God, I don't want to do this.
Well, bravery would have been, I don't want to do this. Can you leave my car, please?
Oh, honest to God, right? Well, it was one of, if it was filmed, if there was a webcam in my car, it'd have been one of the funniest things you've ever seen on reality TV, because I had to, for 3 hours, I'm driving around thinking, where do I go where no one will know me? That's obviously seen me with it.
Oh my gosh!
At the end of the night, she won't get out of the car. I was gripping onto the steering wheel so she won't get hold of me. She was trying to kiss me, and I'm going, sorry, but you got to get out now. I've got to go up early.
Oh my God!
I nearly had to call the fire brigade to get her out of the car. I thought, my God. Anyway.
You definitely weren't following your heart there, Dave.
Oh, she was following something, but it wasn't anything I was following.
Oh my God. Thank you for your story, Dave. That's so funny. So I messed up earlier, and I thought we were playing Westlife before, but we're going to play Westlife now as we leave. Thank you, Jess and Kiki and Dave.
Well, I think we better get them both
we're going
on.
To have you on again.
Yeah, we've got to get them both on again, because with the problem with the internet, Jess missed out on half the show, didn't she? So we've got to get them both on.
I know.
Sorry.
It's okay. We'll do it again. We'll do it again, and we'll get you on, and we'll do topics, and we'll give people tips and tricks, and
exactly,
and it will be awesome.
And more power to the pair of you. So you're unbelievable, the pair of you. So don't let anyone knock you or anything like that. Just go whatever you want in your life. Go for it, pair of you.
Definitely.
Yes.
No stopping us now, eh?
No.
Right.
Quality. Right. Both of you, all three. After three, mention "Hello, my love." 1,
Hello.
2. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
No,
you can
You're trying to wrangle girls, Dave.
I know, but you can tell this is live, because all three of you made a right cock up of that then. So, right, after 3 comes after 2, not after 1, right? So if I go 1, 2, 3, then you go, hello, my love, and then I'll play it, right? So, 1.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello, my love.
My love.
That was